afternoon. I think it's afternoon. I've had such a fantastic day. I've completely lost track of what time it is. And that really sums up my life now. I don't know what day it is anymore. Because I don't need to know. Because I don't have to go to work anymore. And that's what this opportunity is, if you want it. The only reason I know what day of the week it is because I have to take my daughter to school. If it wasn't for that, all the days are the same. I really want to say a massive thank you for inviting me to come and speak to you today. I'm really excited to be here. It's the second year, I believe, of Juice Plus in Israel, and as we heard earlier, we've had, thank you, 100% growth in this country, and you are only just warming up. If you think of this like an Olympic race, Israel is just out the back, stretching. What you've got ahead of you is the biggest opportunity you'll have to not only change your own life, but the lives of all your friends, the lives of all your family, and in turn, the lives of their families and their friends. So this opportunity isn't just about you, it's about all the people that you know, and it's about all the people that they know. So I'll come to it at the end, but please listen carefully to what this opportunity really is, because in 13 months, my life has changed beyond all recognition. And my job now is to just spread that message as much as I can, because there's nothing special about me. And John said it before, there's nothing special about any of the people that are really successful in this business. Anybody can do it. Anybody. You can do it, your family can do it, and your friends can do it too. So listen to the people that have come to speak to you today, because they really want it for you. And if you want it more for somebody else than you want it for yourself, you can't fail to be successful in this business. Have you heard of Team Rhino in the UK? Have you heard of it? Yeah? I'm really fortunate to be part of Team Rhino. John's my upline, and I'm really, really fortunate to have learned from one of the best in the business. We had 40,000 new customers in the UK last month. 759% growth on the same month last year. 2,500 new distributors last month. 16 MMDs, new MMDs, 5 new IMDs, 4 new EMDs, and 3 new PMDs in 1 month. We want to help you have the same right here. Because 2 years ago, we didn't see that kind of growth. We made that happen. We went out, we saw the opportunity, and we made it happen. And you guys can do exactly the same here. There's no difference. It's the same opportunity, the same marketing plan, the same product. You've got Complete coming in, which will blow this business right apart for you. So those numbers can happen here, and they will happen here. This event next year will probably have 1,500 people, if you all bring 2 people each. That's how simple it is to have 1,500 people here next year. Okay.
To the computer.
Oh, here. You sure me, sorry. It's locked. Okay. There's always something. Okay, so who am I? This is my family. I'm 37 years old. I was born in Ireland, and I grew up in Newcastle, which is in the northeast of England. I've been married for 10 years. It was our 10th wedding anniversary last Saturday. I've got 3 children. Thank you. have a stepdaughter, Charlotte, who's 16. She's not in this picture because when you get to 16, you kind of don't go in family pictures anymore. She's too busy having her own life. I've got a daughter, Molly, who's 6, and my son, Shay, who's 4. When I started this business, I was in my 15th year of a corporate career. I had a really, really busy life. Travelled all over UK and abroad. I was very fortunate that all the way through the recession and difficult times, both myself and my husband kept our jobs, and we were really fortunate and grateful for that. But what that meant was we were extremely busy, so a lot of you who may have taken time off to come today, or had friends and family who wanted to come today but couldn't because they were working, will resonate with that busy life. And you'll hear it from people about the business. I haven't got time. I said it to John. I haven't got time. What I'm going to show you is that everybody has got time, because if I can do this business with the life that I had, then anybody can do it. But the point was, I wasn't looking for anything else. I was quite happy in my life. I didn't know that there was another way. I was just on a treadmill. My days were get up, go to the gym, back home for 7 a.m, take the kids to where they needed to go to work, come home from work, pick the children up, feed the children, fall into bed. Sound familiar? To most people, that's grown-up life. But this product completely changed my life before the business did, for me personally. Because of that lifestyle that I had, I was shattered all the time. I was really just going through life, going through the motions. But I did have a healthy lifestyle. I ate quite well, and you'll hear this from customers. Oh, I eat healthily already. And I said that too. And I did eat healthily, but I was tired. So I ate well, but I didn't eat well all the time, or often enough, or every single day. When I started taking Juice Plus, and I started on the Complete, which you are having here, I think in June is being launched here, I urge you to get on that product as soon as it's available, because you'll see the benefits. And if you see the benefits and you tell your friends and family the benefits, they'll want to feel like you do. And that's all selling this product is. It's not even selling it, it's telling it. People want to feel like you feel. But it gave me back my energy, and if you're a mum, particularly in this business, I never had any energy. I was snappy with my children because I was working full time and I didn't spend the time with them that I wanted. So what changed? Well, I had more energy. Let me just put these up because I don't know which is which. Okay. So I fit more into my day when I started the product. I had more fun with my kids because I got my evenings back, and I was talking to Leah about this earlier, that you need that evening time with your partner because your day is work and children, and if you go to bed, as soon as your children go to bed, you don't spend any time with your partner or doing the things that you want to do, go to the gym, go out for dinner, whatever. This product gave me 3 or 4 hours a day more to do the stuff that I wanted to do. And because I was doing that, I had my weekends back. So I spent my weekends with my children, and when I started to do that more, I wanted more of that time. That's my little boy. But this didn't just change my health, it changed my family's health as well. My kids eat more vegetables. Who doesn't want that for their children? Everybody does, but it's really difficult. It's really difficult to get your children to eat what they're supposed to eat. It's just a fact of life. My husband started taking the product. He's working in the gym for longer. His health improved. He had allergies that cleared up. And he was a real skeptic. So if you have any skeptics in your family, never give up on them. Because I knew how amazing I felt, and I wanted that for everybody else. And he now has been on the product 7 or 8 months and feels fantastic too. So don't give up on them, just keep going. But the people you care about, if you get people in this business that you talk to about the product and they say, oh, you know, I don't understand it or I don't believe in it, all I ever say to them is, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm a mum. And I give this product to the people that I care about most in the world, my children, my husband, my parents. I wouldn't give a product to the people that I care about most in the world that I didn't know was 110% bulletproof and good for them. If you just talk about your experience, nobody can argue with that. Nobody can say, I don't believe you. Oh, you can turn your volume up though. Is that too loud now? Okay. Nobody can argue with your experience. So I would really encourage you to talk about your own experience, talk about your own life with the product and the business. Is that the same slide? It is.
Yeah, it is.
Is it the same slide?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just go past it. Okay, that hopefully says how the business has changed my life.
Yeah.
Excellent. This is really difficult when you can't see what's on there. So before I talk about my business and how it's changed my life, and that generally is the bit that most people want to hear, and also how I did it, I'll tell you about the moment that I realised that this business opportunity is the chance of a lifetime. And it was last August, and I'd just gone to 39 Club while we were in the Lake District, which is a small area in the north of England. We're on a family holiday. Incidentally, that we wouldn't have been able to afford to go on if it hadn't been for this business. But my little boy, who was 3 then, came up behind me and he put his little hand in mine. And I held that hand and I looked down at it and I thought, that little boy's hand is going to be a big man's hand before I know what's happened. And now I'm missing it all because I'm working all the time. I was missing the best parts of my children growing up. The best parts of their lives I spent at work, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So I came home from that holiday and I resigned from that 15-year corporate career so that I could spend my time with my children. That's what this business can do for you, if that's what you want. I joined the business last March to earn a bit of extra money for Christmas, really. I thought £200, £300 a month, save it up, I'll have about £1,000 at Christmas, which in the UK that's a really expensive time of year. I've got 13 nieces and nephews, 3 children. It's an expensive time, December. But as I said, 8 months later I resigned from my career. So I now spend 25 hours a week more with my children. That's 1 full day every single week, because I don't have to put them into before and after school care. When I said earlier about doing it not just for yourself but for other people, if you are in a relationship or married or in any relationship really, do it for them as well. Because what I was also able to do was not just resign myself from my corporate career, but I was able to allow my husband to not have to work anymore either. So we now, between us, have found another 2 full days in the week that we spend with our children. We now do what we want, when we want, with whoever we want, for as long as we want. If you want to do the same, then you can. Because that's what this business can give you. It can give you back the opportunities that you may think have passed you by. I used to resent having to work for all those reasons, but now, my job, and it's not really a job, it's a passion, but it is what I want to spend my time doing. So I do work hard and I do put the effort in and I love my team and it's growing every day. But now I can spend my time doing the things that I want to do. And the difference this has made to Mike, who's sat in the front, which is why I keep pointing at him, the difference I see in him is incredible. The stress has gone from his face. The children know their daddy better. He knows his children better because he's spending his days with them now. He used to be home in time to put them to bed. That was pretty much about it, wasn't it? And the fun has returned. We have such a good time now as a family. Who doesn't want that for the people that they love? So just go out and do it. What are you waiting for? So someone asked me about social media, and I'm not going to talk about this for too long because it's in the training tomorrow. So for those of you who are coming tomorrow, I will cover this in more detail. But social media is a huge part of what we do in the UK. So it's all very well talking about the impact this has had on my life, but the bit for you guys is how did we do it, and what are we doing, and what could you be doing to have the same impact? So if you're not on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, there's all sorts of other ones that I don't use or know about, then you need to be on it. How else are you going to communicate with the whole world in less than 30 seconds? That's what the opportunity is here. People like Vane, who've been in this business for 20 plus years, they made it so easy for us. Because what they've done is, you guys gave me the belief that this was a long-term business opportunity. But look what the business that you built up without any social media whatsoever. So we have got no excuse not to smash this business. To build the biggest business that you can have is simple if you just follow a few things. So how I use social media I talk about the product, but I also talk about the business. I've got 2 slides that kind of show you what we do. This one at the top says, clothes shopping when you're happy with your body shape is a lot easier. It's not always easy to be fit and healthy, but it's always worth it. I'm not talking about Juice Plus, I don't even mention the product. I'm talking about my experience. Loads of photographs, very visual. People pop onto Facebook and just skim through. You know if you're on it, something will catch your eye. It'll be a photograph probably. So this one here is me, and it just says, can't remember. Perfect for the busy school mum on the run. It's a picture of me with a product and a green tea in the car. It's dead simple, but it's very visual and very easy for people to see. John talked a little bit about this, and events are so key, and I'll cover that in a bit more detail in a minute because it is really, really important. But if you go to events, tell the world. If you haven't tagged yourself in or put on Facebook that you're here, how is anybody going to know? You have to tell the world what you're doing. You have to make people interested. So use your Facebook as your way to communicate, not just with your team, but with the world, because anybody could see that and think, that's interesting, I wonder what they're doing, and how come they're not at work, and how come they're at the gym when I have to be at work? That's what you do, you create interest, and that's what all of these pictures are. This is a picture of me and all of my team doing various fun things. So whether you read what it says or not, which is pretty much reeling from this discovery that in just 12 months I've built my business from nothing at all to the top 10 in Europe. Absolutely bonkers. Best of all, I've done it with my husband and my friends. If I wasn't in this business, I'd really be wanting to know what I was doing. So I'd ask me. And people do. This one down here, I don't even know what it says because I can't read it now, but look how happy I am. That's probably on a Monday morning when my friends are at work. This is an overview of my business, and the reason that I want to show you this is for 2 reasons. One is because it's hopefully inspirational. One of the greatest things you can do in this business is be an inspiration to somebody else. And when someone turns around and tells you that you're their inspiration or that you've had an impact on their life, it's better than any check you'll ever get. But also because I want you to bear in mind, yes, I've done this really quickly, but you don't have to do it really quickly. And you guys, talked about that on stage a minute ago. You don't have to do it really quickly. If I said to you, right, if you join my business now in 2 years' time, you will be able to resign from your job. You will be able to do the things that you want to do, but it'll take you 2 years, and you'll never have to work again. Would you be interested? You'd be interested. So you don't have to do it in 4 months. You can do it in 3 years. When I was 30, if someone said to me, by 33 you can retire, if you just do the things that I'm going to tell you to do, I would have bitten their hand off. So yes, you can do it fast, but don't give up if it takes you a little bit longer. Don't be disheartened by the people that are going faster than you, because you do it your way and you get your own results. So I joined the business in February 2013. I got to SDD in March, sales coordinator in April, senior sales coordinator in May. Got to 39 club in August, which was a world record, and still is. So I'm hanging on to that one, but if you want to go and beat it, go for it. Why not? It's out there to be done. I got to qualified national marketing director in September, and then in October, that happened. So I'm NMD, IMD, EMD and PMD all in October, just before Nice. And I got to 100 club in January, but by February 2 of my team beat me to it. So I had a world record for less than a month. And that's duplication, because your team do what you do. So if you get to National Marketing Director, your team want to get to National Marketing Director. I got to 100 Club, and the first thing James Lavelle said to me was, I'll get there faster than you did. So he did it in the same speed, and Jay Bates, who's in my team as well, got there in 9 months. So you are an inspiration to people by the way that you conduct your business. I want to talk to you about events, because these are key. Do you all do events? Everybody put your hand up if you've put an event on in the last month. Have you been to an event in the last month? Right. If you do nothing else, good, well done. Put one on and go at once. Awesome. What you want to do, while you're in this room, make a commitment to yourself. If you're in this business, you need to be sitting there now thinking, in the next week, I'll put an event on. It doesn't matter if nobody comes. It doesn't matter if you don't understand what you're doing. You make that commitment to your business, and your downline, your team will do the same. This was the first event that I put on, my first big one up in Newcastle. I invited 150 people. So this place is about 200 miles from where I live. So it's not on my doorstep. And I personally invited 150 people. And only 15 people came. But one of those 15, so 10%, one of those 15 was this girl here, Joanne Eldred, a mum, 4 kids, 2 sets of twins. So I thought I was busy. But she was one of the people who came. She's now a presidential marketing director and 39 Club. And one of the other guys who came, Paul, he's a QNMD now. It doesn't matter about the people who don't come. What matters is the people who do. They're the people you want to focus on. Because if you only have 2 people come to an event, those 2 people could change your business overnight, because they're the 2 people who turned up. They're the 2 people who made the effort. So you spend your time and you work with the people who want to work with you. Don't worry about the people who don't come. I put on a small in-home event at the following month. And James Lavelle came to that in my house. He's now presidential marketing director and 100 Club as well. So you focus on the people who come, but invite people. Nobody knows what you're doing if you don't tell them. We do events, and a lot of events. This is 1 week. So we probably, in our business, I'd say within the Rhino business, there is probably 4 or 5 events every single day across the UK. And what that means is that no matter who we speak to, there's an event on their doorstep that they can go to that week. We're not saying you're interested in the business, come to an event in 2 months. Because by then, life's taken over. You need to have something that they can go to this week. What you can use, in the meantime, is the tour that Sven took you through earlier. If you're not using that, then you're crazy. That was launched in Birmingham in March, and within 8 days, I had 5 new frontline distributors from using that. So I really recommend that you start, whenever anybody asks you about the business, send them 247.jp. Because when they come back to you and say, that was really good, I want to know more, that door is then open for you to talk to them about the business. You're not trying to convince them of anything because they're asking you for more information, and that has made my business so much easier, so thank you very much for that, Sven. This is an example of events we did in 1 week. We had over 500 people in 1 week. I can't explain to you the importance of it. It doesn't have to be a big event like this. It can be in your house, 2 or 3 or 4 friends. But just get yourself out there, step outside of what you're comfortable doing and do something new, because I promise you it will pay off. You don't have to stand on the stage. You can just talk to your friends in a coffee shop. Whatever it is, go and do something different. So what do we do? What does an event look like? How do I do it? Make it something you'd go to. So whatever it is that you do in your spare time, what would you go to? What would get you out of your house? In the evening, you've been at work all day, the kids are annoying you. What is it that's going to get you out in the evening? Is it go and see your friends at the house? Maybe have a glass of wine, relax? Is it go for a walk? Is it? Or is it go and talk about broccoli? For me, it was go out, have a glass of wine with my friends and relax. So make it something you want to go to and make it fun. Dan talked about this earlier, and there's one thing Team Rhino has in abundance. We have a really, really good time. We work very hard, we put a lot of time in, but it's part-time, and the rest of the time we're having a great time. And everybody wants to be part of that, and that's why we grow as quickly as we do, because people see what we're doing and they want to be part of it. Invite people personally. Don't just put a flyer on Facebook and think people are going to turn up. You need to have a personal relationship with people. Pick up the phone. Speak to people, your old school friends, people you haven't seen for years. You don't know what's going on in their life. This might be a massive opportunity for them. So pick up the phone and ask them. Play music, and I think that's really important. You'll notice at these events, there's always music on at the breaks, and it makes it people relax. What you want is for people to relax. So have music on and make it fun. Keep it to an hour. This opportunity is part-time. If you have people think they're too busy, you have to make it something that they can go to, that they can do. If you take somebody along to an event and it's 3 or 4 or 5 hours long, they might be really interested, but they'll say, I couldn't do that. I haven't got that time. So keep it to 1 hour maximum. John, everything I know I've learned pretty much from John, by the way, so if you find someone successful, do what they're doing would be advice as well. John's always said to me, a sign of a good event is how many people stick around or stay around afterwards. So if you keep it to an hour, but people want to stay and have a chat, that's a great opportunity. But it means that people who do need to leave for babysitters or whatever can go. Present the business opportunity. Don't just talk about the product. The product's amazing. Talk about the product, but not to the exclusion of the business. But my entire business, I've led talking about the business opportunity. Because the product for me is what I call a no-brainer. It just makes total sense. But the business opportunity, that's what people come along to the events for. And don't get bogged down in the product detail. Like I said earlier, I'm not a specialist in anything. But I talk about my own experience, I talk about my business, and I hope that that's inspiring for people. What's really key as well are stories. So don't just, if you have an event, get other people to tell their product story, tell their business story, because the more people you hear from, the more inspiring it is, because it might be what I say that you find resonates with you, but it might be what John says, or it might be what Vim says, or it might be somebody that you've never met before. Somebody will say something that'll just make you go, oh, now I get it. So let other people tell their story, because that helps people to understand it's not just you trying to do your own thing. Clubs build your business, and I put this in because we focus a lot on the promotions, STD, SC, SSE and so on, but if you want a long-term sustainable business, you need to build your clubs as well. And that 39 club feeling's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah. But the most important thing you can do is teach your team to do the same. Because if you teach other people what to do, how to do what you're doing, you'll get everything that you want. You'll have a long-term sustainable business. You'll have a 39 club and a 100 club and so on. But teach people how to do it. Keep building people to senior direct distributor, and then do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again. And then you keep doing it. And you teach everybody else how to do the same, and don't overcomplicate this business. It's pretty simple. Once you know how to get somebody to SDD, you just keep doing it. And really, really important, how did you feel when you saw all these guys doing recognition before? If you were on the stage, was it good? It's a good feeling? If you weren't on the stage, did you think, I want to be up there next time? That's what this, you've got to celebrate success, whatever success it is, however small. It doesn't have to be the promotions, it could be getting that distributor that you've known would be in the business for would be great in the business for ages. It could be getting your first customer, whatever it is, celebrate your success, but celebrate your team's success. And something we do in the UK a lot is use Facebook to do that. We shout about how well people are doing, because everybody loves recognition, not just children. I love getting certificates. I love that bit where people go, well done, that's brilliant. It's a pat on the back, it's not about money, it's about someone saying, you're doing a really good job, keep it going. So this is what we do. This is some of my team last month. And this was on Facebook pretty much all in 1 month. Shouting about how well they're doing. Interestingly, the 12 clubs, those three now are all 39 club as well. So you shout about it, you see what people are doing, and you tell everybody else, because it inspires their team to do the same and it inspires other people. But it gives them a well done. We all need that. We all need somebody to say, you're doing a really, really good job, keep it going. Okay, so how? One of the most important things that I think you've got to have in this business, well, you're not even just in this business actually, just in life generally, is belief. And I'm talking about belief in yourself. And we're all so busy living, paying the mortgage, paying the bills, looking after our children, whatever it is, we forget to look after ourselves. And if you don't believe you can do it, if you don't believe you can be successful, if you don't believe that this business can change your life, who is going to believe it for you? You've got to look right inside yourself and think, why do I want this? Because something brought you here today, something made you take time off work or whatever it was, something made you think, I think there's an opportunity here. Don't give up on yourself when it's difficult. You've got to keep going. Because you want more, but who doesn't? But wanting it is not going to make it happen. We all want something. Everybody wants something. The difference between the people who have belief and don't have belief in themselves is that they'll get what they want. Because you go out and you make it happen, and you fall down and you pick yourself back up and you carry on going. And in this business, if you don't pick yourself back up, someone in your team will pick you back up, because that's what we've got. We look after each other. And I want you to come away from here knowing, not just thinking, but knowing that you can be anything you want to be. You can achieve everything that you want. Why not? When you're born, toddlers grow up, they can conquer the world. You never tell a child they can't do something, do you? So why do we tell ourselves that we can't? Quite often I'll hear myself, even now, saying something like, I'm not very good at that, or I can't do that. I think, I wouldn't say that to my 6-year-old, so why am I saying it to me? So now I force myself to say, I can do that, I can do that, I will do that. So when you hear that voice in your head telling you that you can't do something, so never mind other people telling you you can't, don't tell yourself that you can't. You owe it to yourself to have that belief. And as I said earlier, that the only variable in this business is you. It's the same for everybody. So if somebody else is having more success than you, got a bigger business than you, has more customers than you, they're just doing something a little bit different. The business is the same, the product is the same, the marketing plan is the same. The only difference is you. What you get out of this business is what you put into it. It's really as simple as that. So don't question why other people are successful. Ask yourself, how are they doing it? And tell yourself, I'm going to do what they're doing. I'm going to have what they've got. I'm going to be what they are. And then, don't fall over, and then go out and do it. And this bit I think is really key, especially if you're a bit older. So in the UK we've got a whole Gen Y movement, like a lot of people in their 20s and 30s who have really grabbed hold of this business and ran. So I would encourage you, if you know people in that age group, 20s and 30s, really, get them on board in this business. It's such a huge opportunity. We've got an international marketing director in our business and she's 20. If someone had given me this opportunity when I was 19 or 20, imagine where I'd be now at 37. What a great opportunity for someone of that age. It can't change their life. They haven't had a life to change. It'll give them a life. I'm going out to universities, tell you when I get home. Who wants to work in a fast food shop or behind a bar? You need people to do that. But when I was at university, I worked full time as well. I would much rather have been doing this. So don't believe that, the things that have happened in your past control what you're doing now. Sven said it earlier, if you want to make a change, you can do it in an instant for yourself. If you want to change you can do it right now. You can make that decision while you're sitting there. I'm going to change me. I'm going to be more positive. I'm going to be more outgoing. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to put an event on. I'm going to be an NMD. You make that decision for you, and then you go out and make it happen. Because if you do, what's going to happen? I sat in a conference very similar to this in Dublin in Ireland last June. I was a sales coordinator, I'd been in the business a few months. Things were starting to move, I was enjoying it, but I went to the conference, didn't know anybody, really. My husband came with me. And I listened and thought, this sounds really interesting. And then Gordon Hester, who's a business analyst in the business, he works with Jeff Roberti. So for those of you who know Jeff Roberti, or have heard of him, he's the highest earner in the Just Plus world, and Gordon is his right-hand man. So what he says works. But I didn't know that then. What I did hear was him say this, and these are my actual notes from that conference. And he said, I've lost track of the number of full-time mums who've joined this business and become millionaires. Millionaires. Now remember, at this point I was thinking £200, £300 a month. In that instant, I decided if there are people in this business being millionaires, I'm going to be one of them. So when I say make a decision in an instant, you can do it sitting here. And what I decided to do was to stop treating this business like a hobby. It's not a hobby, it's a massive business opportunity. So you make that decision right now. And some of you will and some of you won't, and that's just life. But I'm telling you now, there are people in this room right now who will be millionaires if that's what you want. Who will create other millionaires if that's what they want. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So you decide if you want to be involved in that. I'm nearly finished, but what I want to really talk about briefly is the importance of having a vision. And this ties in with believing in yourself. So in that very same conference, someone talked about having a vision board, and anybody have a vision board here? Write down the things that you want to achieve. Brilliant. I really encourage you, if you don't have one, to create one. It doesn't have to be fancy, loads of pictures, take up loads of time. You'll probably see that everything I do is the quicker way of doing things. How can I make it quick? So this is my vision board. And John told me to do this, and I was like, not really my thing. Don't really think it's going to work. And he said, just write it down, watch what happens. So in that conference, on the left, May 2013, and I'll just read some of them. I said I wanted to have 3 SDDs, so 3 senior sales directors in my business by August. I went 39 Club in August. I said I wanted to be qualified national marketing director by October, and I went to presidential marketing director in October. So my point is, and there's other things in it, every single one of those things that I made a commitment to myself to make happen, happened, but it didn't just happen like that, it happened much bigger. So I thought, right, I need to think a bit bigger than this. I'm not thinking big enough. So the other one is January this year. And for me, this is like incredible, the power of self-belief, because I wrote these down at the time thinking they were really stretching. Are these things really going to happen in the time that I want them to happen? I thought, only if I make them. So I'm going to go through them. Joanne, who's that girl in my business, the 39 Club for Arizona. Done. 100 Club world record in February. Done in January. Joanne to presidential marketing director. Done. £1 million pay line, that's 6 million shekels by October. I've done that. 5 frontline NMDs. Got 3, so that's nearly done. James to 100 Club. Done. I wanted to be earning £50,000 a month by December. That's nearly 200,000 shekels, I think. I've tried to work it out, about that a month. This month, I earned 33,000. So bearing in mind, that was my goal for the whole year. So just think big. Who knows what can happen? The biggest one for me, though, was to be totally debt-free. That was to have no debt, so that we had no worries as a family. So when I got to presidential marketing director, when I got the bonus for presidential marketing director, I bought my husband a new car and I paid off all the debt that we had. So we now have completely debt-free life, and that, if I never did anything else, will improve our lives for the rest of our lives. So whatever you're thinking about why you're in this business or why you want to get involved, think a little bit bigger, because the bigger that you think, the better the results you'll get. And the one last thing I'm going to say is, don't just do it for you. So all of those things were, there were goals. They weren't just goals for me, they were goals for people in my team as well. Because if you do it for the people in your team and you help them get all the things that they want, those other things will come as a byproduct of that. This was less than 24 hours on my Facebook last month. Whenever someone in your business gets to senior sales coordinator or above, Simon Bowler, who's our UK sales director, puts a recognition on Facebook. I then put that all over my Facebook. That's some of my team. In less than 24 hours, public recognition, because do you know what? When I talked about belief before, if I'd given up on me the times that it was difficult, the times that my friends said, you're crazy, the times that people said, it'll never work, the times that people said, don't walk away from a really good job, if I'd taken any notice of any of those people, none of that would have happened. So if you don't believe in yourself, believe in your team. Create a team of people who are successful, who want to be successful, and show them how to get the things that they want to do. Because you'll have everything you want if you do that for them. And what I'm just going to leave you with is my kind of thought of, I'm going to talk for a minute to the people who are a little bit older. So, not really old, but a little bit older. Because at my age, so I was 36 when I joined the business, I'm 37 now, you don't have the luxury of dreaming anymore. You know when you were 18, 19, and people, or even 11 and 12, and people said, what do you want to be? What do you want to do when you grow up? And you thought massively, they still think, I want to be an airline pilot, I want to be a model, I want to be a doctor. All of those dreams that you had for yourself, they start to fade away as you get older. You get married, you have children, and then they start to be the dreams that you have for your children. I want my daughter to be a doctor, I want my son to be a vet. This business is your opportunity to get those dreams back, to have those dreams again. Why not? Why shouldn't you have all the things that you want? Why shouldn't you be whatever you want to be just because you're a little bit older, just because you've got a family? You can do it if you want to do it. But don't waste this opportunity. Don't keep it to yourself. You've taken a whole day to sit here and listen to people. You did that for a reason. You've got an obligation to tell the people that you care about this product and about the business. Because you don't know what an impact you might have on their lives just by sharing the opportunity with them. So think about the people that you know. Because if you want, you can have all the things you dreamt about when you were young. Because I'll tell you something, if I can do it, you can do it too. Thank you very much.